Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Seeing you sooner than I thought I would from yesterday. But it's always important for us to come together, especially when we need to get important information out to our public, to our residents, to our visitors, and to those who have found themselves amongst the being evacuees here in the city of New Orleans. We are faced with a tropical storm. Tropical Storm Sally is her name, and which looks like Sally can make landfall as a hurricane here in the city of New Orleans. I'm joined this early evening with our Director of Homeland Security, Colin Arnold, my Deputy CEO of Infrastructure, Mr. Ramsey Green, my CEO of the Sewage and Water Board, Mr. Gassan Corbin, and my Director of Public Safety and Homeland Security, Colonel Terry Ebert. We're here because we have been monitoring very closely Tropical Storm Sally. On yesterday afternoon, we had our first mayor's briefing with all of our departmental leaders as well as agencies that we work hand in hand with in terms of emergency preparedness during hurricane season. So as I mentioned, Sally is likely to make landfall. The impact in terms of our area is expected for late Monday into Tuesday morning. The system is slowing down and potentially building its strength. Everyone needs to take this very seriously. We know that we were preparing not too long ago for what we now know was Hurricane Laura that impacted our brothers and sisters here in Louisiana. We're taking the same precautions as we did with Laura, preparing for Sally. Again, take this very serious. No need to panic. However, the seriousness is before us. We are in the midst of and in the height of hurricane season in our city. And yes, tomorrow we will welcome the Saints back into the Superdome. And we're continuing to deal with the challenges absolutely ongoing as we face to move through this pandemic. And we're still providing shelter and assistance, as I mentioned, to our Hurricane Laura evacuees here in the city, an upward of 12,000 that we know of. But we cannot, again, afford to take this lightly. We are still, again, watching the weather patterns every single day, every single hour and minute as we prepare ourselves. I am issuing a mandatory evacuation order for residents outside of our levee protection system. This will begin tomorrow at 6 p.m. Again, mandatory evacuation order for residents living outside of our levee protection system beginning tomorrow, 6 p.m. Parking restrictions throughout Orleans Parish will be lifted as well. This will start tomorrow, again, at 6 p.m. In preparation for impacts, we want to make sure that all of our people are gathering the necessary emergency supplies needed. We have prepared for people to text Sally, SALLY, to 888-777. If you already, in other capacities, signed up to receive our emergency notifications, you will already be signed up. So, but those who are not, text Sally to 888-777. These updates will come from NOLA Ready. We will continue to keep you updated again as we move through gaining information and knowledge. But at this time, I'm going to call up our director, Colin Arnold, to give us more information relative to Tropical Storm Sally. Thank you. Colin? Where is Colin?
Right here, Mayor. Thank you. Evening, everybody. As the mayor mentioned, Tropical Storm Sally is out there. It's been a busy day. We've been watching this obviously since yesterday, but today a lot of developments. Just got off a conference call with the state with all our state and regional partners. Everybody's looking at this very closely, and as the mayor said, please stay weather aware. There is the chance for intensification on this storm, and we should always be prepared for a hurricane when there's a tropical storm. You always look at one level above where you're at. So we do have active flash flood watches, storm surge watches for areas outside of levee protection. Make that clear. We're talking about Venetian Isles, Irish Bayou, and Lake Catherine specifically. And that is the mandatory evacuation that needs to take place tomorrow. People need to leave. The reason for this is because there's projected to be 6 to 9 feet of storm surge in that area. That's relatively high. When we look at Tropical Storm Cristobal, when we look at Marco, we looked at about anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 to 6 feet. Remember, 4 to 6 feet, we did a voluntary evacuation. Well, this one's going to be mandatory because 9 feet of storm surge does trigger the Highway 90s and Highway 11 flood walls to be closed, and those will be closed at some point either Sunday night or Monday morning. So the residents out there need to know their evacuation route will be cut off at a certain point, which is why we're doing this. Again, the parking will be lifted at 6 p.m. tomorrow. We just ask, as usual, please don't park on bike paths. Do your best to not block sidewalks. Don't block intersections, streetcar tracks. Be courteous and don't park in front of other people's driveways. We'll do that until further notice, until we're clear of this. We are, in conjunction with the City Council, offering sandbags at 4 different locations around the city starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. Those locations are the Arthur Munday Center at 1111 Newton Street in Algiers, the Dryads YMCA at 2220 O.C. Haley in Central City, the former Walmart and Sam's Club large parking lot at 6901 Bundy Road in New Orleans East, and at the Milne Recreation Center Nord headquarters at 5420 Franklin Avenue in Gentilly. So again, starting at 8 a.m. until they run out, I would anticipate that they'll, based on last time when we did this, they'll run out probably around noon or 1. So please get out there if you need sandbags. The mayor mentioned texting Sally to 888-777. That is a great way to keep in touch with us. You can also find all of this information I'm talking about at ready.nola.gov. And then I'd also say at this point, if you are a senior, you have mobility issues or chronic medical needs or medical special needs, if you haven't already, right now is a great time to sign up for the Medical Special Needs Registry. You can dial 311, and that operation has a call center that will be working 24 hours. So appreciate everyone's attention. Please stay weather aware, and we'll update you as much as possible. I'll add that we've met with our Unified Command Group, our public safety team, and our operations team already. We had a lot of high water assets already in place from Marco and Laura, so we're in a good position as of yesterday to fight this and to develop a good battle rhythm, and that's what we're going to do. So appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Colin. I'm going to ask Ramsey Green, Deputy CEO of Infrastructure. Ramsey.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you, Colin. Just very quickly, going to go over some tactical things and some recommendations or requests of the public in general. First, the Department of Public Works maintenance team is fully transitioning to operating only vac trucks, dump trucks, and trailers holding barricades for any street work that NOSEP or our public safety team need to move streets around or move driving around. That's 7 vac trucks. That's a big deal. Job site prep. This is something the public's going to see a lot of. A lot of construction sites are out there. Our project managers on surface and subsurface work have been notified and are starting to prep their sites, vertical site as well. And as of an hour ago, our folks were communicating with the Hard Rock construction team as well to ensure that their plans are moving. And that includes both Sewage and Water Board and DPW joint infrastructure projects. We work very closely together. If you're a private owner of a project under construction, you're going to get a note tomorrow morning. Big thanks to the safety and permits and DPW team saying get your job site ready. If you have a dumpster out there, get your job sites ready. This is Saturday in an evening. People don't want to think about this. It's a Saints game tomorrow. Think about it now. Take action now. Limit the amount of stuff out there. Just always assume the worst before we do anything too dramatic. Sanitation, everything's fine. Follow NOLA Ready. If there's a shift in pickup, you will hear about it. Register for NOLA Ready. The NoSep team does a phenomenal job of letting people know if your trash is going to get picked up or not due to inclement weather. If you see a tree right now, branch laying in the street integrated with an Entergy line, call 311. We have foresters on emergency right now. Frankly, we really want to get that stuff done before a storm happens. Don't go anywhere near a power line interlined with a tree limb or anything like that. But please call in if you see a tree or a power line compromised in any way. Internally, pardon me, our public safety locations, facilities, the generators, thanks to Marco and Laura Prep, have been tested and tanks filled. So we are making sure that Colin and his team and Colonel Everett and their team have everything that they need. Thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you, Ramsey. Thank you very much. And we'll hear from Gassan Corbin, Sewage and Water Board.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. As you heard the Mayor, we are also monitoring this weather event. Earlier this afternoon, I had a meeting with my managers, including our emergency management and my general superintendent office, to go over the protocols for emergency preparedness. And I'm here to tell you that we are ready and we remain very vigilant. We're watching this weather, this unpredictable event very closely. As you know, we have 99 pumps, drainage pumps, and as of today, 2 of those 99 pumps are out of service, but we are working very hard to put those back in service by Monday morning, if not sooner. One is in New Orleans East. We're not concerned about not having that if we're not able to fix it, only because it services areas that are green, and there's really no concern with that. The other one is in DP Station 13, and then again that raises a little bit more concern, but we are working hard on making sure that becomes readily available on Monday morning. Our turbines, or all our 4 turbines are ready, 1, 3, 4, and 6. We have 5 AMDs that are ready to be utilized on moment's notice, as well as our static frequency changer. We're working very closely with the city, with our partners, and we're ready to stand up our emergency office on moment's notice. So we've also alerted our contractors to prepare their sites for the storm, lower their cranes and booms to make it safe. So with that, ready to have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gassan. And we'll get to questions. I want to ask Colonel Everett, anything you want to add to that, Colonel? You've been working hard on this.
Thank you, Mayor, and appreciate the opportunity. But I just want to say we're a blessed city because we got a tremendous history. We've got a tremendous staff and administration, and we have a tremendous population of citizens. Every citizen has a mission, and that's take care of yourself and your family. If you do that, you've contributed to our mission to take those things that are above your local capacity, and we can handle those things, and we will handle those things. But we need your cooperation as citizens to take care, again, of everybody that has a family, has an individual. We all have a role to play. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel. So thank you all again very much for being here. We have, as we indicated, have been watching and monitoring very closely, in communication with our state partners as well. I was on the phone this morning with our governor and have touched base with my parish presidents, my brothers and sisters throughout the state of Louisiana, as we're all prepared for Sally. Ms. Latanya, for any questions.
Madam Mayor, WWL.
Question, will there be any plans for emergency shelters if people don't want to evacuate or if people have nowhere else to go?
Well, we will always stand up in terms of the City of New Orleans special needs sheltering, but that's something that we work directly with our individuals that have signed up and registered directly with the City of New Orleans. So we're constantly monitoring that and prepared to stand up. However, sheltering in place is just that, but the register is for those with special needs. So as Colin mentioned to the public, if you have yet to sign up, please do so. All residents can do so by calling 311.
The advocate?
Yes, my question is about the pump. I believe you said that the one in New Orleans East you're not as concerned about. Can you address the other one?
Sure, Pump 13. Yeah, sure.
Certainly, the other one.
And where is it located?
Let me remove my. So, like I stated, the other one is in DP13, and that's a larger capacity pump, and that would be a concern if it's not operable during the event. That's why we're working so diligently on bringing it back to service very shortly. I said Monday morning, but we hope to do it so much sooner.
Thank you. Can you tell me where exactly it is in the city?
It's in Algiers. I don't have the exact address, but it's in
Yes,
Algiers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Roxanne?
Sure. Mayor, if I'm not mistaken, there's still a number of evacuees from Lake Charles that are in the city of New Orleans. Do you have any
Yes.
specific suggestions for people that are sheltering in the city?
Sure. So we do have an upward of over 12,000, smaller little number than that we are sheltering in hotels throughout the city. Those hotels are being overseen and managed directly by the Red Cross. We have been asking and really requesting that the Red Cross participates directly in our EOC briefings and at the table so that we are in direct communication with one another. This has been communicated to our state partners and the governor as of this morning, and so we are looking to tighten up the levels of communication so that, one, we know for a fact that our evacuees are getting clear information and information that they truly can depend on. However, we're encouraging evacuees as well to text Sally to 888-777 so that they can hear directly from the city of New Orleans. But we will be working again with the partners of Red Cross, those closely tied to the state, who is managing the operations here along with our Office of Homeland Security. But it is a unified command and a collaborative effort as it relates to servicing our evacuees in our city. So we want them to just pay attention, listen to and take heed to any of the advisements that are coming from the city of New Orleans at this time. We're doing everything possible, again, to make sure that they're cared for just as other residents are. Anything to add, Colin? Okay, just want to make sure.
The issue? GNO? Madam Mayor, no other questions.
Okay, thank you all so much. Oh, yes.
Can you repeat those sandbag locations, please?
Okay, Colin, I know we have Monday, you have the addresses, Dryads, Arthur Mundy, the Sam's parking lot on Bundy Road in New Orleans East, and then there was a fourth one. Milne. Yeah.
And it'll be in the press release as well.
Okay, and then also on the website.
Okay, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
Absolutely. And time, is of the essence. So the sandbag locations, we got them off the ground, working with the New Orleans City Council to be boots on the ground for residents. But residents need to adhere to the time constraints to get those sandbags. Thank you so much.